Name Lloyd Walton, also known as Lucky. Do I have another name? No other AKAs. Age 37, weight class 185. I guess that's middleweight. I got started in martial arts when I was 10 or 11 years old. I was playing baseball, and my baseball coach, my little league coach, was a black belt in Taekwondo and taught Taekwondo to inner city kids on the south side of Chicago, which I was. So that's where I started. I think I got up to like deputy black belt or whatever it was at that time. I was a kid, so it didn't mean the same thing, I guess, but that's how I got started. I don't think I ever really stopped. I think I might have taken some time off here and there. But anywhere I went that somebody said they were in the martial arts, I started. I trained with them, whether it was Taekwondo or some kind of Okinawa family-style karate or whatever it was. Wherever I went that somebody said they trained, I would train with them. Even if it was like a month or 2 months, or if I had times where it was like a year off, I would still be practicing punches and kicks in my living room or wherever I was at the time. So I never really stopped. I just didn't ever have a facility that I went to on a regular basis until I was probably maybe, I don't know, 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. And a friend of mine was teaching kickboxing. I never took the class, and somebody said I should take it. And I walked in and kicked the bag for the first time in forever, and realized that I was at home, and that's what I needed to be doing. And then as far as the jiu-jitsu goes, I've had trained with a lot of people. But the person that I like probably the most to train with, only because he's so technical and so easy to understand, is Troy Wah. You might know the name because he's a referee for a lot of organizations. He's done Bodog, UFC, he does Abu Dhabi. He's actually competed Abu Dhabi as well. So him being so involved and actually being in the ring, in the cage, at the fights, in the jiu-jitsu tournaments, I think makes him a great coach and a great trainer as far as jiu-jitsu goes, because he gets to see it, not only compete in it and be involved in it on the mat, but he gets to see it from a referee standpoint. So he gets to show you and tell you things that you might not get if you only have fought. So I really appreciate Troy for taking some time and putting the effort in. The person that really turned me around, striking-wise, kickboxing-wise, Muay Thai-wise, whatever, is a Sanshao fighter. Her name is Sarah Ponce. Sarah Sedanis now. She's gotten married. But she's a world-class fighter, man. 5-time champ, world champ, fought in the Olympics and the World Games. So, she actually is the one that showed me what it's really like to train, to fight for real, and not just to, think you're training and get into the ring or cage or whatever and feel like, oh yeah, I can do it, because that's not how it works. It's the training, and she kicks my ass and makes me vomit. So thank you to her. Now I would say I'd like to say, people say, oh, you're an MMA fighter or whatever. I've never had an MMA fight. I've had jiu-jitsu tournaments and Muay Thai fights, and I box with these guys that are Golden Glove boxers in the gym. So I try to consider myself a freestyle fighter more than anything, available to go stand up or ground or anywhere in between. So not necessarily an MMA fighter, but a freestyle fighter. My training now is not even close to what it was before. Before it was just, learn how to punch, learn how to kick, get a good sweat, maybe lift some weights after. Now it's come in, it's stretch for a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's work technique for, 30 minutes here, work bag, we're talking 4 or 5 hours training as opposed to, maybe 45 minutes. So, now I'll spend 3 days a week at least, on the ground, as well as, 4 or 5 days a week doing stand-up, then mixing in weights and, just everything, man. I'm training because at some point I'm trying to knock somebody's head off or strangle them, choke them or put them into a submission. So training has changed quite a bit from 11 years old and even 20 years old. An hour to 5 hours is a huge difference. So yeah, that's how it's changed. Also, a little more in sparring. You're not touching people for points. You're touching them to hurt them. I used to work out, and now I train. Working out's fun, but training is grueling, painful, and you have to want to do it. You can't. Nobody trains because they just love to do it because it hurts like hell all the time. The person that really, really, really always drove me, and still to this day has a huge impact on my life as far as the martial arts goes, and I'm sure everybody's going to say the same thing if they had to answer the question, is Bruce Lee. There's his philosophy, the way he trained, his mentality is the thing that I think I aspire to be more like every day, is to be a martial artist and have some sense of the world at the same time, and have all of this translate together because it all is a part of each other. So I think living in the world and being a disciplined martial artist kind of go hand in hand. Right? You can live your life however you want to, but it's better to live as a great human being than anything else. So I'll try to follow that forever, no matter if I can fight or train or if I'm sitting dilapidated in a chair. I'm always going to try to live by that. So that's last. The fight business, period. It doesn't matter. I mean, I love to fight, but you can't fight forever. You can only fight until your body says you can't fight anymore, and then you have to. You can still compete, but you can't necessarily fight, and then you can move on. I mean, I actually want to be in the business, so whether that's training fighters or owning my own place or owning my own organization, the Black Dana White, right? So long term, that's the deal. So fighters that are looking to get somewhere should probably talk to me now.
Anything else you want to say?